Good afternoon and welcome to Bears Best in Cheongna for day 3 coverage of the Hana Financial Group Championship. Timothy Lowe here. Great to have you along for moving day action from the Europe and USA nines. And as it was at the beginning of the weekend, Choi Hee-jin hanging on to that 1-shot lead. She has currently over 2 players, Kim Soo-ji and Lee Eui-won, both still very much in the picture. Min Ji Lee off to another solid start. The 7th-ranked player in the world leads the group at 6 under par, with Lee Daeon and former major champion Thailand's Patty Tavatanakit just a shot further back. 60 players made the halfway cut that came at 2 over par at the end of Friday's play. We lost a couple of big names. A shock departure for Park Min-ji and former world number 1 Lydia Ko, both of them sitting at 4 over par through 2 rounds. Not good enough to see weekend golf here at Bears Best. But the lady who has won 12 KLPGA Tour titles leads us into the weekend. This is the lady who sits atop the money list coming into this week. Lee Eui-won, the 21-year-old Rookie of the Year last season. Slightly out of position at 8, and well, she is now very much struggling for a par. One of the rookie sensations of 2023, Bang Shin-sil, big, powerful hitter. Looking to get home in 2 at the par 5 9th. Ooh, just green high, should stay out of that greenside bunker. Not bad at all for this year's E1 Charity Ladies Open champion. Picked up that victory at Seoul Haewon Golf Club and also earned membership for the rest of the 2023 season and a 2-year exemption on tour. Now in Juyeon, it's a huge week for her. Currently sitting well outside the top 60 on the money list, but she's in the final group this afternoon with Eui-won and Hee-jin. 6 under par. Still very much in the conversation for a second tour title. Now to the start of the back 9 and Jo Hye Lim, her second into 10. Pitched a little soft, but it's going to work out just fine for Jo. That pin's only 7 paces on the front edge of the green at the par 4. Now to your championship leader, Choi Hee-jin. Quick one down the hill from the left fringe on 8. Missed a really short birdie putt back at 7 that would have doubled her lead, and she's got another little tester there for par at the 8th. Well, no player in this championship's history has successfully defended, but the 2022 champion, Kim Soo-ji, finds herself trailing only by a single shot. Already a winner this season, picked up her second major at the Hanwha Classic last month. It's a 7-iron into this front right pin at the 10th. And all over it for Soo-ji. Eui-won with her par putt at the 8th. Coming back uphill, going to be pretty slow. That's going to drop her back to 6 under par. At the end of this week, fancy that she's going to become only the 8th player in KLPGA Tour history to have made more than 1 billion Korean won in a single season. Just 50,000 won from that target coming into this championship. Now, last week's winner, Ma Da-som, having a bit of a rough day. Back at 2 under par now. 3 over for this 3rd round. Now Hejin should be just on the left edge of this one. Okay, that's the hole. I talked about In Ju-yeon a little bit early on the KLPGA Tour. Came back in 2018 at the NH Ladies Championship. Finished a career high 18th on the money list that season, but has struggled with form recently. She's missed more cuts than she's made in 2023. She has a golden opportunity to secure playing rights for next year with a solid finish here. So 1.5 billion Korean won prize purse up for grabs in Cheongna this week. Joe just leaving that one a touch low at 10. 25th event of the season, 23rd of the calendar year. Of course, we began this season back in Singapore in December, where Park Ji-young won the inaugural Hana Financial Group Singapore Women's Open. Now, Minji lost in a playoff at Pochen Adonis at this championship in 2021 to Song Ga-eun, and that was rather poor from the Australian. To 9. Bang Shin-sil. Lots of green to work with here. Should be a decent lie on a slight upslope. And gets that one to trundle down to tap in range. He has been the most exciting rookie in the last couple of months. Known for her booming drives and clubhead speed. Kim Soo-ji, this to get herself up to 8 under par. Oh yes, cue the left-hand fist pump. Kim Soo-ji gets up into a share of the lead with Choi Hye-jin, 4th birdie today. Back down on that 9th tee in Ju-yeon. Birdied her final hole of the day yesterday to get into this final group. This 26-year-old has only made 7 cuts this year, but well, it's going to be an 8th this week. Now, Hye-jin, only her 3rd start back home on the KLPGA Tour this year, primarily plays in America on the LPGA Tour. Now, Dasom really having a season to remember this sophomore campaign on the KLPGA Tour. 2 runner-up finishes and that victory at the OK Financial Group OK Man Open last week. It's been a bit of a sluggish Saturday for Dasom. Now, Yewon, who's been an absolute machine since turning professional, hasn't missed a cut this season. Tops both the money and the points list. Didn't seem too pleased with that, but again, this 9th playing as a par 5. You shouldn't bother the 21-year-old too much. Down at the green, Bang Shin-sil is to get within 2 Very nice indeed. Turns in 35. Does Bang Shin-sil. She'll head out to the back 9, the Europe 9. 27-hole property. Pairs best Cheong-na. Now bunkered, short-sided as well for Minji. Takes a lot of touch to get this one close. Outstanding shot from the US Women's Open champion. Picked up a 9th LPGA Tour title a fortnight ago in a playoff against Charlie Hull, who is currently representing Team Europe in the Solheim Cup in Spain this week. The Europeans getting trounced in the morning session yesterday 4-zip by America, but battled back bravely to sit at 3.5, 4.5 going into today's morning foursome sessions, which should start in about an hour's time. Year one with a hybrid out of a tufty looking lie at 9. Hejin got her card to play on the much coveted LPGA Tour at the end of 2022 and has really enjoyed her time playing stateside against the world's best, but always feels comfortable and very happy to be amongst old friends back on the KLPGA Tour. Certainly reflecting in her play so far this season back home. Win at the Lotte Open a couple months back for her 12th KLPGA Tour title. Currently finds herself in a share of the lead with Kim Soo-ji, but 9, this par 5, certainly does present a birdie opportunity. Now go out to the 11th and, well, flirting with trouble off the tee was Jo-Hye Lim. And the greens certainly look like they're starting to firm up just a touch. That looked like it was bouncing on a ping pong table. I've had a very wet summer in South Korea, scorching temperatures, but also a very late monsoon season, which has given the superintendents here at Bears Best quite a bit of work to do. Now Soo-ji needs to clip this one, coming out of that fairway bunker. Yeah, excellent shot. Good smart play there, taking the long miss out of play for Soo-ji. Green safely found in regulation for the now 5-time winner. In Ju-yeon, last to go here into 9. A pin today, just in the front right corner of the green. So important to find the fairway with your layup. You need some spin to hold it close to this front right flag. Try to get home in 2. Comes up just shy, and much will depend on the lie, what kind of options she has from there. It's the 5th playing of the Hana Financial Group Championship, and it's the 2022 champion Kim Soo-ji who shares the lead with overnight leader and 12-time tour titleist Choi Hye-jin. See there, that flag just tucked on that front right corner. But the green's really starting to firm out. It just puts a real premium on good ball striking. With softer targets, you can sort of get away with slightly scungy misses. Your ball's not going to release on too much, but when they start to firm up and speed up especially, you're going to have to factor in release, contours of the greens as well. No easy task, particularly if you're just off your game. Now, Yewon has been hugely impressive in all facets of her game since turning professional 2 years ago. Mind-boggling, 9 top 10 finishes in 21 starts this year. That is pretty poor from Yewon. Don't think the strike was to blame there. Sounded like a fairly solid contact, just maybe getting her numbers wrong. Now through the back of the green at 11, Jo Hye Lim found the penalty area off the tee, so this is her 4th now. Hedgen. Fancy your chances with these sorts of shots. 74 meters left. Prolific ball striker, great wedge player. And right on cue, sticks it into about 6 feet. Another look from the reverse angle. Just bang on with your distance control. Gets it to bite like a police dog. Jo Hye Jin will have that move back into the outright lead as she makes the turn. Suji from the slightly lower level of the 11th green, coming uphill for her birdie. Really good putt from there for Kim Suji. Steady par, keep her at 8 under. Mentioned all 5 of her KLPGA Tour victories have come in the second half of seasons. As long as the lie's good for Julian here, she'll have options of how she wants to play this. Really throw open that club face, try and hit a high, soft shot. And you could play a more standard center of the stance pitch and run. You know, just land it past the fringe, have it run along the ground. And that lie does not look overly appetizing, so really has to be committed to what she wants to do here. Normally when that ball's nestled down a little bit in this Kentucky bluegrass rough, you are going to find that it just comes out a little bit hot, comes out a little bit running, almost with topspin. So giving this plenty of care and consideration as the hundreds tailing this final group watch on with eager anticipation. Good news is the last 10 feet of this shot should be coming uphill, so she's got a little bit of a buffer. She's a little bit heavy-handed. Just got snagged in that rough, landed it way too short on the downslope and shooting off Maybe just a fraction unlucky. Got that ball sat down in the rough. Still leaves herself a look at birdie. Now out to the back nine, and after another booming tee shot, Bang Shin Sil with just a little short iron flick into 10. For a bogey at 11. And that is going to be awfully expensive for Jo Hye Lim. Now, Yewon, clumsy third, so this is now her fourth, and oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's a comedy of errors from a lady who has looked so consistent and so unflappable through most of the year. Yewon in danger of dropping back-to-back shots as she heads to the back nine. Well, three most feared words in golf. You're still away. Now Yewon for par. Oh, had it online, but that is an inexcusable bogey with just a short iron in her hands. It's been a little sloppy from Yewon. Gives up her two early birdies. Drops back to where she began the weekend at 5 under. Now Minjee at the 13th. Really has been a birdie hole for most of the players this week. Pins cut close to the front right edge today. 6 on 6 from the right. Well, that's pretty good from Minjee Lee. About 4 feet out for In Joo-yeon. It's just going to catch a little slope, which will start to slide the ball to the right and away from her. So just got to be a little careful with this one. It's one of those putts where if you just get a little bit too aggressive, you could have a slightly uncomfortable comebacker for par. There it goes. Should still be all right there. It's been a while since In Joo-yeon's been in a position like this. Final group on the weekend. Best finish this year was a 7th at the rain-shortened Kyochon Honey Ladies Open back in May. Shin Sil with her birdie look at the par 4 10th. Took a couple of bumps and wobbles along the way, but the pace other than that was pretty solid. Well, Hedgen to open up a one-shot advantage heading into the back nine. And another short miss for Choi. It really has been the one chink in the armor of what is otherwise a very impressive golf game. Just an occasionally bulky putter tends to hold her back. Great chances at 7 and 9 now missed for Hye-jin. Well, she made 2 of her last 3 cuts in Juyeon. Both of them were top 30 finishes. But prior to that, she had only made 1 cut since May, and that was a bit of a non-factor finish, a 54th place finish in July at the Evercollagen Queen's Crown. She's only made 59 million won this season. That's a nicely holed putt to keep her 1 under par for her day. Minji to break out of the group at 6 and get within 1 of the lead. Everything on 13 slopes towards this penalty area right of the green, so this one's going to be a little downhill. Straight down into the bottom of the cup for Minji Lee, who adds a 5th birdie of her round and moves into solo 3rd, just 1 off the lead. As we head to the back 9, this 3rd round, it's Suji and Hye-jin who lead at 8. Minji's 5th birdie of her round at the 13th sees the former world number 2 up to 7 under par. In Juyeon, ready to get this final group underway on the homeward 9 here on Saturday at Bears Best Cheongna. 5 years removed from her only victory on the KLPGA Tour, she finds herself in the mix once more. It's a little wide at 10, and that front right hole location certainly not going to be very appetizing from the right rough. Well, been hitting the ball very nicely. Obviously, she's had some great opportunities squandered with the bulky putter, but she's just got to stay patient, keep giving herself chances. At some stage, the putter's going to start to cooperate for Choi Hye-jin. This one heading a little right as well. Oh, right down the middle. Yeah, jump up to the formidable 12th. Just played as one of the harder holes on this layout this week. Suji, tee shot safely down the middle. It's a 6-iron in from 157. Don't want to miss this flag left. There's a big old bunker there. She'll take it straight at it. What a shot from Kim Soo-ji. She is certainly turning up the heat on Choi Hye-jin. Great look to get to 9 under par. Now Shinsil at the claustrophobic 11th. Trouble lurks right, pair of bunkers left. It's a tiny fairway to try and thread the needle onto. Well, first of the 2 par 3s in this back 9, the 14th, and Minji lead. Fairly innocuous hole location, right at the middle of the green on the lower level. It's a 7-iron for the Aussie. Just caught that tee shot a little bit spinny. Choi Hye-jin. Mentioned 2 starts the KLPGA Tour this year. 7th at the E1 Charity Ladies Open, and that win at the Lotte Open to start June. Won in dominant fashion as well. First real poor swing we've seen out of Choi so far this afternoon. Suji is this to get into the solo lead. Will be turning 27 next month. 7 top 10s this year, that win at Jade Palace. Finished outside of the top 25 in her last 5 starts. But she'll see her name at the top of the leaderboard all by herself once again. At Bears Best in Cheongna, she leads by 1. Bang Shin Sil has reloaded off the tee. So this now her 3rd shot at 11, and that's going to nestle into some of the thick rough left of the fairway.
저기서 빠진 게 보인 것 같은데요.
In Juyeon. Tough ask this one. Out of this thick rough, balls above her feet as well. Pins on the front right. You just have to be smart about this. Anything in the middle of this green past the pin would be a good result. Or an acceptable result, I should say. Last thing you want to do is try to bite off more than you can chew. Just catch it a little bit heavy, come up short, then you're in all kinds of trouble. Got to take your medicine if you miss it in some poor spots around this Jack Nicklaus layout. Minji Lee for birdie at 14. Coming slightly down the hill here at the par 3. Coming into this week, highest ranked player in the Rolex Women's World Rankings at 7th. 2-time major champion, Minji Lee. Finds herself now 2 shots off the pace after Kim Soo-ji's birdie at the par 4 12. looks like Higgins just stayed out of that greenside bunker. And it looks like a thickish lie, but it's actually sitting okay in the bluegrass. Expect a little low chip and run with something like a gap wedge or a pitching wedge for Choi. Don't need to take the aerial route. That's just a little tentative. You could see the deceleration into the ball. I wonder if those couple of short misses with the putt have just rattled her slightly with the shorter clubs. Not sure she knows it right now, but she is trailing Kim Soo-ji by 2. Now Shinsil having some problems of her own at the 11th. Ball in the penalty area off the tee, reloaded to here, so now playing 4. It's a tough pin to access from the rough on the back right plateau. Surely that's not going to hang on over the back of the green like Jo Hye Lim. Just seems to have one of these kind of holes every tournament. Bang Shin-sil takes her eye off the ball, results in a big number. You're left scratching your head, leaving the club Sunday evening with all the what ifs. At 10 in Ju Yeon's third. Downhill, lots of green to work with. Very nicely played by In. Downhill birdie look here at the 13th for who looks like Lee Dae-yeon. Get herself back to 4 under. Yeah, very nicely hole from the KLPGA Championship winner. Has her battles with injury every now and then, but that is going to stop the rod of back-to-back bogeys for Dae-yeon. So par putt now for Hye-jin back at the 10th. Now finds herself trailing by 2. Well, the tables have turned for Choi Hye-jin. First look of the day at Thailand's Patty Tavatanakit. Had a pretty ice-cold putter towards the end of her round Friday. Unfortunately, hasn't warmed up much on Saturday. Have to settle for par after that lovely second shot into 13. Shin-sil, name of the game here, damage control. It's a pretty steep uphill lie out of this thick rough, so you've got to have pretty good acceleration into the ball to get it popped forward enough with enough momentum to release out. Easy to leave these short. Yeah, it's just about okay, but it'll be a double at best. Soo-ji now finds herself 2 shots clear, looking to become the first player in history to successfully defend the Hana Financial Group Ladies Open. She certainly made the most of a hot putter and some great shots this Saturday afternoon. 5 under for her round. 9 under, 2 clear of Minji Lee and Choi Hye-jin, a couple of the LPGA Tour stars who've made the trek over to South Korea to contest this 1.5 billion Korean won event. Minji Lee, well, she got close at Pochin Adonis, was bested only by Song Ga-eun in an epic playoff back in 2021. Says she has unfinished business with this championship. And she is still very much in the picture in 2023. Just a look at what the players face at this par 4 11th. Just a scary tee shot, really tight fairway. You got that penalty area on the right that Bang Shin Sil found a little bit earlier on. You got some bunkers left if you do bail out. Once more, with that pin on the upper tier of this green in that back right corner, it's a huge advantage to be able to play your second shot out of the fairway. Just take some guesswork out of the equation if you do manage to, if you do somehow find the rough. And Inju, one of the longer hitters on tour, so just going with a 3-wood for position. Trying to keep it short of those bunkers. Usually a slightly longer second shot, but at least it's one that you can control. Popped up a little on her. Has that stayed on dry land? Not quite sure. Just needs to start putting a couple of solid swings together. The one bogeys at 8 and 9 have put her behind the proverbial 8 ball, especially with the hard charging Kim Soo-ji up ahead. Shinsil for a double bogey 6 up at the green. Well, a bit like year one, Hye-jin's just got to take a couple of deep breaths, try and regain control of the situation. Sure. It's hitting a little left, should take a soft bounce. Yep, that's okay. Jo Hye Lim up at 13. Scary second shot to this front right pin. Plays over the lake. Oh, that is bravely done. Very nice indeed from Jo Hye Lim. Par 5 15th, Minji Lee with her 3rd pin today, all the way in the back left corner of this green. That's 43 paces deep. It's an aggressive line straight over the stick for Minji. Suji at the 13th. Wants to keep her foot on the gas pedal. She knows this is a good scoring opportunity here. 13, 14 and 15. Just a little conservative, but no harm done. So it's a 2-shot cushion now for Kim Soo-ji at 9 under par. Min-ji Lee and Choi Hye-jin, can they make any inroads on this back 9? Just to complicate matters a little bit further, you could see that flag fluttering a little bit earlier on. The second shot, the 11th, playing almost straight down breeze. Just going to keep the players on their toes, particularly when they're coming out of the long rough here. Now, from what we've seen so far this week, In Joo-yeon, a rather deliberate player. Doesn't do wonders for pace of play. Golf really just takes too long these days. There's a lot of faffing about, particularly with green reading. So hopefully she's selected her club and visualized the shot in her mind. Penalty area off the tee, so now lying 3. That's not going to do In Joo-yeon any favors. Long bunker shot now. Coming up at 11. Meanwhile, can't put a foot wrong today, Kim Soo-ji. She's got this for another birdie at 13. Lovely try. Conversely to In Joo-yeon, Soo-ji really plays with a briskness that is refreshing out here in the professional game. Back to 11 and year 1. Perfect spot, middle of the fairway. Can be pretty aggressive with this one. Yeah, that's a fine shot. It's really well executed. The Lear one. Absolutely no danger of going off the back of the green. Gives herself a reasonable look from about 18 feet. And with Hye-jin's iron game, she could look to land this right about where year 1's ball is finished. She knows that she's got great control of these clubs. So So she can choose to land this a little bit further up on the green. Distance control is so very important in all aspects of golf, but particularly when you're trying to attack pins like these. Cut on little shelves and plateaus. You just have to be bang on with not only your distance control, but your spin control as well. Didn't like that strike, just a little left. And that's okay. Maybe just starting to lose it a little bit over the last half an hour or so. Now, Bang Shin Sil, awkward stance in the fairway bunker here at 12. It's well below her feet. It's a pretty steep lip as well. Oh dear, that's left. That's left and left. Bang Shin Sil. Wheels have come off a little. Just try to overcompensate for the ball being below her feet there. It's flipped at it, tugged it left. Now up ahead to the 14th, and Kim Yeon-hee to get to 3 under. Been a bit of a tough day for her. This could turn things around. Just enough. Well done, Kim Yeon-hee. Birdie 2 at 14. It's going to get her back to even par for this third round. Looking well out to the right at 15 is Minji. Don't think it's going to come back at that pace. Gosh, that was a clear misread from Minji. The pace was actually okay, but that ball maybe broke 6 inches instead of 2.5 feet. After that wonderful second into 13, Jo Hye Lim to get one of her 2 shots back that she dropped at 11. Yeah, nice 3 there. The good news for Shin Sil is that wall shouldn't be a bother for her. The bad news is there's a lot of ground to cover sand-wise and not much green to work with once she gets on the putting surface. That was really good from there. Cannot begin to describe to you how tough that shot was. Made it look simple, and she could still yet escape unscathed. Julian with a long bunker shot here. It's not one you want to play with a lob wedge. You think this could be a gap wedge or maybe even a pitching wedge. Play it like a long splash and run. Don't need to try to carry it onto the top step with spin. Steady on, steady on. Oh, just going to roll off the far side of the green. This 11th has been giving the players all kinds of trouble today, and a lot of it's to do with not only the width of that fairway, but also the tough hole location at this par 4. Double from Jo Hye Lim, double from Bang Shin Sil, and unless that one goes in, it's going to be at least a double for In Ju Yeon. Speaking of Jo Hye Lim, she is at the 14th. Imagine this would be a 7-iron for Jo. Pretty firm front section of the green. Just carry it past the front edge. It will release on. Just trying to baby a little 5-iron in there. It takes a very soft bounce, but nicely worked out for Jo. Hedge in, coming up a little rise here. to this back plateau. Last 10 feet, that ball should start to work back away from her downhill. So just important to get the pace right here from outside of 35 feet. Yeah, great try there. Good speed, good roll. 4, not a bad score on the 11th this afternoon. Suji. Leader by 2. She's got a 5-iron as well, so imagine this would be a 3/4 shot. 5 seems like a lot of club for Suji. Was too much club. It's at least a club too long, and first little miscue from the championship leader. Juyeon. Quite a severe uphill lie as Bang Shin-sil had over the back of the green, but still one you got to get your hands forward, try and deal off and neutralize that club face a little bit. It's just a little poor. It's one of those times where the head starts to spin, the heart starts to race. You know you've made an error and you've just started to compound it. Starting to rack up at the 11th for Juyeon. Now Shin-sil ahead for her par at 12. This would feel almost as good as a birdie for Bang. What a save it is. Took the scenic route up the 12th, but it's still going to be a 4 for Bang Shin-sil. Yeah, one with a good look here to steady the ship a little bit. This for birdie. So for a double bogey 6, this would drop In Juyeon back to 4 under par and a whopping 5 shots behind Kim Soo-ji's lead. Should be a fairly straight putt. Don't really see too much break in this. Okay, so pays the price for an errant tee shot. So he slides back to 4 under par. Won her first 2 KLPGA Tour titles as an amateur back in 2017 at the Yongpyong Open and the Bogner MBN Ladies Open. She's gone on to have quite the career ever since. This major finish, second at the 2017 US Women's Open. Did throw in a third at the US Women's Open last year in 2022. This lady left with one of the most coveted prizes in women's golf. 4 shots of victory over Mina Harrigay last year. That's just a little wide on the 16th for Minjee Lee. Suji. Slight downhill lie, ball sitting down a little, so it'll come out like a knuckleball. Lots of topspin on this. First 15 feet is going to be just on that upper plateau of the green, then it should start to work its way downhill to today's hole location. That's got to settle down. That's got to settle down. Dear. Suji slightly off the mark here at the par 3 14th. Back on 12T, year 1. Doesn't miss many fairways, Leo 1. Top 10 in the driving accuracy category on the KLPGA Tour. Finds the short stuff just over 80% of the time. Now, Jo Hye Lim for back-to-back birdies. Just looked a little low all the way, but a par will keep her at 5 under. That's gonna miss the fairway left for Choi Hye-jin. Just a couple of loose swings on this back 9 for Choi. Now, has that double bogey at 11 affected the psyche of In Joo Yeon at all? Finds that deep fairway trap left at the 12th. Joo Yeon starting to find the going a little bit rocky. She makes her way off the 12th tee. Now Minjee ahead at 16. About 50 feet between her and the pin here, but most of them pretty flat. Her best effort by a long shot. Suji, first real difficult par putt she's faced all day long. This for a 3 at the 14th. Oh, that one's going to be low. Just question that club selection off the tee. It's going to lead to the first bogey of the day, and it's just going to give some hope to the chasers. Her lead is halved back down to a 1-shot cushion. Suji falls to 8 under. Still has her nose out in front though, and that's all that matters. And to avoid a similar fate at the other par 3 on this backside. Nice recovery there for Minjee Lee. Important par-saving putt. So there's a little shuffling going on at the top of the leaderboard. A Kim Soo-ji bogey at 14, just keeping things interesting on the first page of the board here on day 3 at the Hana Financial Group Championship. Land this about 20 feet short, and she should expect a little bit of release. And to 12. Steady, steady. Ooh, just stays out of the bunker. That should be okay for Leo 1. Bang Shin Sil at the 13th. Well left of target here, but not a horrible angle to today's pin position. Just erring on the side of caution there. Wasn't going to bring the water to the right of this green into play. as the ball of Choi Hye-jin did find the fairway bunker off the tee. It's a much flatter lie than Bang Shin Sil, so she'll definitely want to be looking out right at this pin here. Needs to catch this perfectly to clear that lip with a 5-iron. Pick that one clean. Oh, superb shot. Really well played from there for Choi Hye-jin. Well, first look of the day at two-time KLPGA championship winner Park Hyun-kyung. 1 over for her round. And has about 18 feet for birdie. They're at 13. 2 over par for her round, excuse me. She's back at 3 under. Now a little bit further up in that fairway trap at 12 is In Ju Yeon. Sounded a little bit thin, but the line's okay. Oh, she'll get away with it. She'll more than get away with it. That's an excellent result for In Ju Yeon. Up to 14, and Lee So-young, who was in such control of this championship yesterday before a slow finish. Unfortunately, her fortunes haven't improved much on Saturday. She's back at 1 over par. But that's a decent strike to the heart of the 14th green for the 6-time KLPGA Tour winner. Just off the edge of 12 green. Just want to chop this one forward. It should all trundle out once it hits the green. Oh, very nicely played from Lee. Just start to wonder if a little bit of fatigue is starting to show. The 21-year-old just played 21 events this season on tour. To take a little 2-week break in the middle of the season just to refocus on her game, try and work out some kinks. She's paying dividends, but she does look a little tired, doesn't she? Now Shinsil ahead at 13, chipping down the hill at this par 4. And making a very good fist of things there. Hye-jin, can she start to take a step back in the right direction? This is a birdie opportunity at 12 to regain a share of the lead. Oh, that's got to go. Surely that's got to go. Just the tempo of that putting stroke just looks a little off to me. Looks a little short and slow back, and then almost a extended, exaggerated speed up and follow through the ball. Just like to see same tempo, same length back, same length through. Much like Park Hyun-kyung, who's always been one of the better putters on the KLPGA Tour. Let's watch the rhythm here. Smooth back, smooth through. Never really feels rushed. Should just shave the right edge there, Hyun-kyung. Was one of 3 co-leaders at the end of the opening round alongside Lee So-young and Song Ga-eun. Has found the going a little bit difficult since. In Juyon to bounce straight back after that double at 12. This for birdie. A wonderful response for In Juyon. Gutsy stuff there. Nice recovery. Gets her back to 5 under. So young. A lot of left to right movement in this, even though it's only about 15, 18 feet away. It's a good looking putt. See, it just snaps at the hole. Just a par then for Lee. Last win coming back at the 2022 Daiowenia MBN Ladies Open. She is birdieless in her exploits so far on Saturday. Suji still with her name at the top of the board, but it's a slender one-shot cushion over LPGA Tour stars Minjee Lee and the returning Choi Hye-jin. Well, the par 4 13, there's a bit of a breather hole for the ladies on this back nine. It's only 309 meters, and it's 265 meters to run through the fairway into that penalty area. A couple of bunkers on the left-hand side if you do happen to pull your tee shot, but other than that, it's a fairly generously sized fairway. Your second shot will be played with anything from a short iron to a little flicky lob wedge over this big body of water that guards the front and right of this green. The pin today is certainly going to bring that water into play. 6 from the front and 6 from the right. And still, having said that, coming out the fairway with a short iron, it really is a good birdie opportunity. Starts with a good tee shot though, and Juyon is electing to hit the big stick. Just get it out there a decent distance. Juyon averages just around 250 meters off the tee. In the top 15 of the KLPGA Tour driving distance stats. I said it's a wide target, but it does pinch in a little bit closer up towards the penalty area and bunker, so we'll have to look out a little bit right. Nice little soft chip swing with the driver. Just avoids those fairway bunkers. Suji flirting with some trouble here at the par 5 15. She's okay. Remember on Thursday from a pretty poor lie. Gosh darn near hold out for an eagle 3. A tough ask to today's pin position though. Back left protected by that bunker shot and water left. No choice but to just look out towards the middle of the green for Suji. That's nicely controlled for distance though. Also going with the driver, not quite as long as in Juyon. Sill at 14. Look good in the air, but it's going to catch that front bunker. A couple of errors starting to creep into the game of Sill as well at this third round. Now Hirjin, as she did yesterday, just electing to hit 3-wood. Minji up ahead at the 17th. Par 5, pins only 4 off the right edge today, protected by that deep bunker short. Unfortunately, it looks like Minji has found that bunker. Moving day action continues here at Bears Best Cheongna. 25th event of the season, the Hana Financial Group Championship. Being staged for the 5th year and for the 2nd year in a row here in Cheongna at the Jack Nicklaus designed Bears Best. Suji. Pretty flat putt this for the 26-year-old. Should want to move a little off the right as it gets to the cup. Just stopping that backswing a la Tiger Woods in his peak. Reset the routine. Never changes that left hand, tapping the right shoulder to make sure everything's squared up before she pulls the trigger. That's a uncharacteristically tentative stroke from Kim. Now up to the 16th, and a birdie look for Kim Yeon-hee, who birdied the 14th hole. She'll birdie the 16th as well. Now she's got the par 3s dialed in, Kim Yeon-hee. Third birdie on the short holes today. Bang Shin-sil short of the 14th green and short-sided as well for the big hitter. Oh, such good technique. Wonderful shot from Bang Shin-sil. Sandy save. It's going to keep the KLPGA Tour rookie at 4 under par. Hirjin electing to lay well back here. Should be a nice comfortable distance for a sand wedge. And again, looks down in disgust. She tugs that one left. Just hasn't been quite as sharp since she made the turn. Minji, poor shot to leave herself this for her 4th at the par 5 17th. Oh dear. The Australian is not going to be best pleased there. Oh, struggling for par on a hole. She was thinking birdie. Oh, yeah, one. It's a scary shot, this. Sort of a three-quarter sand wedge out of this fairway bunker over water. I don't blame her one bit. Had to look out long just in case. Suji with a bit of cleaning up for her par at 15. Juyeon sitting down a smidge in that first cut of rough. Just as the smart thing looks out a little bit long. Gives yourself a birdie look. Now Minji for par at the penultimate hole. Certainly read that right, but it was always going to be a tall ask to try to hold that one. 8 dropping shots in par 5s as a professional golfer. Those are really scoring opportunities. So Lee falls back to 6 under par with his second drop shot of the day. Still 1 hole to play. Now year 1. Downhill right to lefter for birdie at the 13th. Jo Hye Lim first to tackle this 16th. Pin today on the par 3, just in the front left corner. It's trouble left, so expect this one to be just out towards the fat side of the green. I think this would be a 7-eye as well for Kim Soo-ji. You just want to be looking at the front right portion of the green. section has been pretty firm, so expect this ball to kick on and release a touch. Good safe shot there for your championship leader. So Young back at the 15th with her third to this back left pin. That's more like it for Lee So Young. Hasn't made a birdie yet today. Feel things could change in about 5 minutes' time. Hedging downhill, slippery one for birdie at the par 4. It just drifts a little wide, but should be a fairly stress-free tap in. Yeah, one. Still a little knee knocker left for par at 13. You can't afford to drop any more shots this afternoon if she wants to challenge for a third title this year. Three-putt bogey. Leah one now back at 4 under. Where does it all go wrong for the 21-year-old? Kim Soo-ji has really become a regular fixture in big championships in the KLPGA Tour over the last couple of years. Started with a win at the KGE Daily Ladies Open back in 2021. She backed that up with a maiden title, maiden major championship at Blue Heron at the Height Jinro, where we will be returning in a couple of weeks' time. Breakout year for Soo-ji, and then last year winning Players Player of the Year, crossing 1 billion won in season earnings, second only to Park Min-ji at the end of the season. 2 more victories added to the tally, including one here at Bears Best Cheong Na. And then this year picking up that second major title in a dominant display at the Hanwha Classic at Jade Palace for major championship number 2. She's proved to be a very competent front runner. She's not afraid of being in the spotlight, and well, her name's at the top of the board once again here in one of the most lucrative events on the KLPGA Tour. Most of this putt's going to be downhill, but just towards the cup, it starts to work back uphill. Easy to leave these short. We saw Minjee Lee do it a little bit earlier on. That's great pace control from Kim Soo-ji. Very nicely snuggled up there for your championship leader. So young for her first birdie of the day. Very nice birdie indeed for Lee So Young. Just puts a little pep back in her step. Gets her back inside the top 20. Julian. The 6-iron at the 14th. Pin smack in the middle of the green. So you get your numbers right. Very attackable. Oh dear. It's going to find Bang Shin Sil's bunker to the left-hand side, but she's a little bit further up, so the angle's going to be slightly more awkward. Speaking of Bang Shin Sil, it's a big tee shot, but it's a pretty wayward one here at the 15th, and once again, be forced to lay up. Can she even get to the second half of the fairway past the creek is the question. There's a big tree in her way. Lie's not great. But that's well done. Jin. Really the best place to leave yourself here is just past the pin and a fraction right, leaves you an almost straight uphill putt. Seems short of the pin, leaves you that putt with a lot of left to right break. And that's the one that Choi Hye-jin will face when she gets up to the 14th green. Now at the home hole, Minjee Lee. Fairway safely found off the tee for the Perth native. Pins cut right up on that middle right section. And that's pretty well managed for Minjee. Only 6 under par. She'll have that take a 7 under par total into tomorrow's final round. What drama will unfold as we crown a 5th Hana Financial Group champion. At the moment, it's the winner from 2022 who leads the way by 1. It's Soo-ji, 1 clear of Choi Hye-jin. Mistake off the tee to short side herself on 14 in Juyeon. Looks like a pretty awkward stance as well. See her trying to build a stable base. Oh goodness, that must have been plugged, and from bunker to bunker goes In Juyeon at the par 3. Seen a lot of balls plug in the bunkers around this Nicholas designed course this week. Yeah, Bang Shin-sil, after that really good recovery, it's her third now to 15 and has actually opened up the green with a pretty nice angle. Can she take advantage? No, she cannot. That's clumsy at best for Bang Shin-sil. Juyeon from the far side of the green now for her third. Slightly easier bunker shot and much better executed. She's going to be dropping back when she heads to 15. ENG Lee for a closing birdie. This would be for a round of 68. It's not quite going to get there. But still, 69 leaves her very much in contention with just 18 holes to play. On Saturday, around a 3 under par for the Australian. Everyone's underread this putt that we've seen so far in our coverage today. We'll see if Choi Hye-jin can solve the riddle. Good effort, but that's going to fall low as well for Choi, who will stay at 7 under and within 1 of Kim Soo-ji. Speaking of Soo-ji, here she is, second shot to the par 5 17th. Again, no hope of getting home in 2, but you want to just try to squeeze it up the left-hand side of the fairway. So you've got less of that greenside bunker to come over for your third. Year one, lovely tee shot into 14. Got this now for birdie. It's been slowly sliding back over the last 2 hours. That's not going to help her cause. Good attempt, but that ball's going to remain above ground for the moneyless leader. Bang Shin-sil through the back with her third. Pretty straightforward little chip shot left though. Should be a fairly straightforward up and down for Bang Shin-sil. But again, third day in a row she has not birdied this reachable par 5. Juyeon for her bogey. Ultimately pays the price for that poor tee shot. Now Park Hyun-kyung ahead at 15. Yeah, she'll get that one to drop. Really nice four there for Park Hyun Kyung. Get her back just outside the top 5 at 4 under par. No one's really running away with this championship right now. Dasom. That's more like it. Well done, Dasom. Good birdie there. First of the day. Those 5 drop shots ultimately ending her chances of becoming the first woman this year to win back-to-back events on the KLPGA Tour. Let's have a look at this par 5 15th. Reachable for some of the longer hitters in the field. We saw Paddy Tavatanik get home in 2 on Thursday. The tee shot's going to be somewhere right around this area, so if you're a long hitter like an Injuyon, you will be tempted to have a crack at the green in 2, although with today's hole location, you just don't think that's the right play. Most of the field, though, they're going to be laying up over this creek into this small circular fairway, playing their third shots in with a wedge or maybe a half lob wedge into this kind of 3-tiered green, protected by trouble left in that one green side bunker. The pin today right on that back step, just 5 from the left edge. Got to be spot on with your distance if you want to be hunting a birdie at 15. Definitely will have to play 15 as a 3-shotter. Leo 1 doesn't have the firepower to challenge in 2. Further up on the back 9 and on the other par 5, Kim Soo-ji, third shot in now. Don't want to leak this one out short right. 15 feet pin high left, or a little bit past the pin, leaves you an uphill putt for birdie. It's just a good safe shot there. It's a sucker pin on 17 today. Suji, a very smart golfer. Not bringing any trouble into play. In control of this tournament. Doesn't need the unnecessary stress. Jo Hye Lim, she's hung in there quite nicely despite that double bogey back at 11. She's only 5 under par, 3 shots behind, and well, staying aggressive here on 17. This is on a pretty bold line, just a little left, but that's a good place to be putting from. She'll have a free line read from championship leader Kim Soo-ji as well. Now out to the 16th. See that pin cut close to the penalty area. That guards the left-hand side of the screen, so it forces the players right and away from the target. It takes a very brave lady to attack this pin on Saturday, so safe to say that hole-in-one prize of a new BMW 5 Series should be safe, at least for another day. Hyun Kyung on the tee after that lovely birdie back at 15. Hurjin just out of the first cut of rough, but sometimes you get lies like these where it's almost better than being in the fairway. It's like it's sitting up on a tee peg. The further right you go, the better the angle into this pin, but that's provided you find the fairway, which Choi has not. Choice of club for year one off the short stuff. Now Shinsil. It's sort of hole locations like these where you feel she has a slight advantage, the ability to hit a slightly shorter club than her compatriots, and the slightly higher ball flight. She's able to attack some pins that most dare not dream of challenging. Hyun Kyung hit a 5-iron, Shinsil's got a 7, but she's leaked that a little. It's okay. And that's just the smart shot. Look out a little bit long, a little bit right. You need to bring that trouble into play, short left. Now Suji at 17. Outside chance to build on that one-shot lead. Putting just across the hill, we'll have some left to right swing in it. Good roll, great try. It's another steady par. Hurjin, a bit like Suji earlier on. Just coming out of this rough limits your ability to sort of take a direct approach to this left hole location. Just need to be looking somewhere around the middle of the green, almost trying to run it up onto that back tier. Just trying to hoist one up in the air and get it to land nice and soft. All things considered, that is a fabulous shot from Choi Hye-jin. Really smartly done. Good sensible play. Gives herself an outside look at a 4. Year one, wasting little time. This group's slightly out of position now. She can pretty much go straight at it from 82 meters. Just a little short. It's not brilliant, but still okay. Juyeon, she's Gotta try to find something positive towards the end of the round. Did have that nice birdie at 12. It's just been a couple of loose swings and unforced errors that have left her back at 4 under par. It's more like it. Lovely shot. Best birdie look of the 3 coming up for Juyeon, making only her 8th appearance on the weekend this season. Jo Hye Lim. That one's going to slide off low for Jo. Still 5 under par, only 3 back. Very easy to make up that kind of ground in the final round. Again, anyone within 5 shots of the lead, we'd like to say, still has a chance with 18 holes to play. But it's Suji still up top. She leads by 1 at 8 under par. After a bit of a pedestrian third, this now for Yewon's birdie at the 15th. fairly ho-hum par for the 21-year-old. Hyun Kyung. Popular spot to putt from this on the 16th. Downhill to start, then back up at the end. It's that second half which really catches out a lot of players speed-wise. Gave that an absolute wallop. Whoa. Hyun Kyung. First player we've seen get it that badly wrong at the par 3. Very nice look at a birdie here on the 15th. Coming back uphill slightly, so can be positive with her pace. Has she hit it? Has she hit it? There's your answer. See if that racy putt from Hyun Kyung has spooked Bang Shin Sil. Similar line. Hopefully a different result. Yeah, much better result there for Bang. Will happily take a 2-putt par. Smart third shot. It's given her this to tie the lead once more. Unfortunately, it's a case of the same song, different verse for Choi Hye-jin. Just can't get anything to drop. Challenge has just stalled at 7 under par for Choi Hye-jin. Lee Dae-yeon at the closing hole. Slightly downhill. Should move a little off her left. Nicely judged for speed. Haven't seen too much of Dae-yeon today, but she is still lurking at 5 under par. It's just another very steady and solid round of 71 that will see Lee Dae-yeon into tomorrow's final round at 5 under. A lot more in this than Park Hyun Kyung would have envisioned for her par at the 16th. Really is such a deflating feeling. You make a nice birdie and then you 3-putt the next to give it straight back. Just lacked a little consistency this season, Park Hyun Kyung. Winless since the KLPGA Championship in 2021. Now, finally, we have a look at Thailand's Patty Tavatanakit. Former ANA Inspiration champion end on a high. She's really made nothing this week, and that one's not going to make the Tavatanakit highlight reel. Really lacking in any sort of enthusiasm and pace there from the Thai, and she knows it. Final group have reached the par 3 16th. It's going to be Choi Choi Hye-jin, first to go. It's a poor tee shot and she knows it. Come on, Patty. Nice steady head here. Good rock at the shoulders. That's for a par. Okay. Safely in for Patty T. Just the level par 72 today. Coming down the last, Kim Soo-ji. Tough pin to get close to today on this 18th. Very close to those bunkers short of the green. Good play from Soo-ji out towards the back edge. She's done what she's needed to do today. She knew she needed a decently low round, something in the mid-60s, at least the 60s, to keep her chances of second successive Hana Financial Group Championship alive, and she's certainly done that. Now back to 17 with Bang Shin-sil. Year one on 16. Touch too conservative there for Lee. That's okay. Now Hyun Kyung back on 17T. I don't think we're going to see quite as much zip as Shin-sil. Oodles of room out to the right here at this par 5. Jo Hye Lim. It's been a pretty solid day at the office for Jo, save for that double at the 11th. Oh, that's a sparkling shot into 18. I mean, really couldn't have landed that any closer to the front edge than she did, but she's still going to have a good 15 feet left for birdie. Excellent shot, though, from Jo Hye Lim. well-struck shot here. Should have a third of about 120 to 130 meters into this par 5 for Park Hyun-kyung. Shinsu well up the fairway. She might have only a sand wedge in for her third shot. Back at 16 green, hedge in. This pitch shot is going to ride that little ridge line as it works downhill towards the pin. You need some soft grip pressure on this. Try and zip that club head under the ball, generate a lot of spin. Just carried that a little bit too far, did Choi. Suji for a closing birdie. That was tracking. That was a lovely roll. Kim Soo-ji, mission accomplished as far as she's concerned. Looks to have pretty much played her way into the final group for Sunday's final round. And that's where you want to be as a professional golfer. To have a putt to win the championship on Sunday evening. Now, year one. 50-footer from just off the right fringe at 16. Jo-hye Lim could get herself within 2 of Kim Soo-ji if this one drops. She's just seen Soo-ji's putt fettle a little right as it got to the cup. So it has a sense of what this is going to do as it loses pace. Unfortunately, just did not have the speed there. Ju-yeon for a birdie at the 16th. Great effort, really good pace on that one. Hyun-kyung's third coming in to 17. Looks like a 7-iron or maybe even a 6-iron. Good fine shot there from Park Hyun-kyung. Right about pin height. Hyejin for her par at the par 3. That's a very poor bogey from the one-time championship leader, who now falls 2 shots back. Birdieless since the 5th hole for Choi Hye-jin. Well, no doubt Kim Soo-ji is going to be the one to catch on Sunday once again. Terrific round of 68 from the defending champion. Leaves her as the pole sitter. She's 2 clear. Min-ji Lee and Choi Hye-jin. Jo Hye Lim will start Sunday a shot further back. All things considered, a very nice day. 71 for Jo. Inside the top 5 through 54 holes this week in Cheongna. Not much club left into 17 for Bang Shin-sil. Haven't seen too many close to today's pin position. Oh, that's okay. The par 5 17th makes for a fairly elementary strategy session. You gotta play it as a 3-shotter. No chance to get home in 2 with this playing 524 meters. Pretty wide target. Bunker to the right don't really come into play. Water on the left does if you just happen to turn your tee shot over a touch. Second shot, you just try and lay it up as close to this nest of bunkers as possible. It does force the longer hitters a little bit further right, which does make the angle a little bit awkward coming into today's pin position, which has got close to that first right-hand bunker, just on the back side of it, past a little mound as well. It's a tough pin to get close to, so 5 definitely an acceptable score on the 17th today. Ideal start line for the players is just the last of the fairway bunkers down the right hand side of the fairway. Does average around 250 meters off the tee, so if she just leaks this a touch right, In Joo-yeon can certainly reach the first of those 3 fairway bunkers. Up on the green, Park Hyun-kyung putting just over this little mound short of the pin, so it's going to move the ball from right to left. Yeah, great effort, a lovely line on it, just lacked a little speed. Down on the tee, Choi Hye-jin, last to play in this final group. Shin-sil now facing this uphill left to righter. Important to keep that speed up, if not this is going to leak off low right in a hurry. That's got good pace. Oh, you are kidding. It's half a roll shy of dropping in for Bang Shin-sil, agonizingly close to a birdie at the 17th. Hurjin just going to be laying it up, leaving it handy for her third into 17. Now at the last, Park Hyun Kyung. It was a birdie hole yesterday, but not so much today with this third round hole location. Yet to hit this green in regulation this week. Hyun Kyung chipped in for birdie on day one. A bogey yesterday left her in this spot coming into the weekend, and that's just off the left side of the fairway at the home hole. Ju Yeon from the center strip of the fairway. Lee So Young at the final hole. And a rough day for her. One-time leader of this championship. That is a nicely judged putt on 18. Expect there to be plenty of speed in this one from Bang Shin-sil at the home hole. It doesn't look like she's trying to kill it, but I guarantee you there is tons of speed and impact there. I mean, look at how far up the fairway that's gone for Bang Shin-sil. She's only going to have a wedge in to this par 4. It's been a difficult afternoon for Jaravi Bunchant. Matched the low round of the week yesterday with a 67 to make the cut, but she is 4 over par for this third round, the tie. And it's going to be a 76 for Bunchant. Difficult day. Something she will certainly learn from as she continues her ascendancy in the world of women's golf. In Ju Yeon, a little bit thin with that second shot, so she's going to be first to play into this par 5. Trying to cut one in there, but it ain't cutting. And that's on the front section of the green, so that's not going to be the easiest of putts left for in. Over that steep mound, you can see it on that camera angle. So Young will tap this one in for a round of 75, besting Bunchant by a shot. Not everyone's had a fruitful day round Bears Best Cheongna. Bunchant with a 76, So Young with a 75. Now year one. It's 1 over par for a round herself. It's a little right, it's got a carry. Oh, she was brave with that. Lovely shot from Lee Won. He took it on. She's pulled it off. So coming in on a much higher ball flight for Choi Hye-jin, but unfortunately doesn't carry like her compatriot, and that's now going to be Another testy up and down. Kyung. You just want to look at the front left edge of this green here as your target. Even if you come up a bit short, it's not too difficult of a chip. Don't want to be in that bunker short of the green though. So no choice but to take on that shot. It's going to release on through the back of the green. This 18th has proved a little tricky for Park Hyun-kyung this week. Seems to be scrambling every time we see her on it. Headquarters of the Hana Financial Group, just down the road from the entrance here at Bears Best in Cheongna. I wonder if Choi Hye-jin's shot has stayed out of that greenside bunker. Really won't have any sort of green to work with, regardless of whether she's out of the trap or back in it. I think there's your answer. It looks like she's in the bunker. We can only hope it's not plugged. Don't seem too pleased with that lie. It really was a gutsy shot from Leo Won to take on that flagstick. Executed it beautifully, but still about 10 feet for birdie as we go up to 18 and Bang Shin Sil. With this club, she can choose to be aggressive. Oh, it's a 9-iron. Just trying to take something off this. Yeah, that's a lovely shot from Bang Shin Sil. Such control with those shorter clubs. Now, Hye-jin. Again, really wish we had a camera behind Choi, just so we could see what the lie looks like here. Oh, there we go. Asking you shall receive it. Actually, you stayed out of the bunker, and it looks to be a pretty good lie, so not too difficult of it up and down left for Hye-jin. Well, not difficult at all. That's a birdie 4. Well, if you can't get your birdies with a putter, why not with a wedge? Chip in there for Choi Hye-jin, takes her back into solo second and within one of Kim Soo-ji. Have another look at that. Just a little pop and run. Perfect. And finally, one goes for Choi Hye-jin. No wonder she's smiling. Mentioned the difficulties faced by In Joo-yeon here. So we have another look at the Hana Financial Group headquarters just across the street from 617. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. See that mound in between In Joo-yeon and the hole? Ball's got to come up that first. It's going to be slow, and then when it gets on the backside of it, it's really going to start to pick up pace. And the whole time it's making its way down towards the hole, it's going to be moving pretty hard from right to left. So it's really about almost trying to stop the ball on the top of that slope and just have slope and gravity do the rest of the work for you. All things considered, pretty well judged. You have to say that bold third shot really deserves a birdie for Leo Won. It was fraught with danger. She's pulled off a wonderful iron. This is just an uncomfortable putt for a right-hander. Breaking away from you, so you really have to make sure you strike this positively with a square face, or this is going to leak off low and right. was a great putt, really was. It's just been that kind of back nine for Lee Won. You have to settle for par. Well, chipped in on Thursday, bogeyed it yesterday. What adventures does Saturday hold on 18 for Park Hyun-kyung? All downhill once it gets on the green. You can see it from this camera angle. It's the slope she's got to deal with. Got it well back in her stance, so just trying to bump and run one down to this pin. Superb touch from Park Hyun-kyung. Bang Shin-sil, slightly downhill. We'll move a fraction off the left in the last 6 feet or so, but this is for birdie. Yeah. Never up, never in for Bang Shin-sil. The par here would give her a round of 1 over par 73. Just hasn't been easy out there. A couple of tuck flags. A lot of slope on these greens. At the Europe 9, the back 9 at Bears Best Cheongna, one of 3 available for play. This lovely piece of property. Hyejin waits back on 18T. Another look at her chip-in birdie. At 17, that took her within 1 of Kim Soo-ji, chasing a 13th KLPGA Tour title and 2nd of the 2023 season in only her 3rd start back home. Now, Da-som, another player who's found the going rough in this 3rd round. 4 over the card. It's going to be a 76 for Ma Da-som, who's bid for back-to-back wins in the KLPGA Tour. Took a bit of a pummeling in some tricky conditions Saturday afternoon.
들어가겠습니다.
Seems to have found a little rhythm right towards the end of her round once again. Choi Hyejin, obviously that chip-in birdie at 17 would help. Safely down the fairway at the 18th as Hyun-kyung looks to just tidy up for a par in a round of 74. Okay. So brilliantly with that 67 on Thursday to grab a share of the opening round lead. 72 yesterday and 2 over par round today. Leaves her proverbial mountain to climb if she wants to break that winless streak. Now Yewon back on the tee. wicket, but she's keeping an eager eye on it. It's going to get a friendly kick back on the fairway. Yes, it will. Makes such a difference with ball in hand, playing preferred lies on closely mown areas this week. All three players in this penultimate group recording over par rounds on Saturday. 76 for Dassom, a 74 for Hyun Kyung. Bang Sil, best of the bunch. Still a 1 over par 73. As the final group make their way up the 18th hole. Certainly are looking like we've got a terrific final group set up for tomorrow afternoon. Kim Soo-ji, the defending champion, will be in that threesome. She sits at 8 under par. Choi Hye-jin currently at 7 under, making her way up the last, and the highest ranked player in the field, Australia's Min-ji Lee, after a 69 today that leaves her at 6 under, 2 back, and in solo third.
방향 좋아, 방향 좋아. 넘어오면 돼. 그렇지. 그렇지. 굿샷. 나이스 버디. 야, 멋지다.
She did top the money list with over $1 billion back in 2019, Choi Hye-jin. One of 7 ladies to have made more than $1 billion Korean won in a single season on the KLPGA Tour. Her playing partner this afternoon, Lee Won, has the chance to become just the 8th to achieve that very rare feat with a solid finish this week. She's only about 50 million won away from breaking that target. Oh, lovely shot. Very brave to take on that flag, but again, just difficult to stop it in that section. She'll roll through the back of the green. It's really no trouble back there. gradual downhill slope for her third. Safe to say the fans have been entertained by some good quality golf in this final group this afternoon. How many of them are Choi Hye-jin fans, I wonder? Very nice shot, right to the heart of the green. That's exactly where she would have been looking. Absolutely no sense in going straight at that flagstick. So she'll have one final chance to tie Kim Soo-ji going into tomorrow's final round. Remember, took a one-shot lead into the weekend, did Choi. A terrific 68 from Kim Soo-ji has seen the defending champion leapfrog Hye-jin in Juyeon. Wonderful shot there. To get it to stop that quickly takes a really pure strike. And well, remember, this is only her 8th cut of the year. With a top 10 finish, she could pretty much lock up her card for the 2024 season. It's only made 50 million won this year in Juyeon, so every dollar counts. You're battling to finish the year inside the top 60 on the money list. Who's going to take the walk up that fairway tomorrow afternoon and leave Bears Best Cheongna with the 5th Hana Financial Group Championship? Soo-ji, a pole sitter at the moment. Hye-jin and Min-ji Lee are going to be the other two in that final group tomorrow, as they try to chase down the lion's share of this 1.5 billion Korean won prize purse. And those grandstands at the back of this green certainly will be packed to the brim with knowledgeable and appreciative South Korean fans. We will crown a champion this time tomorrow. Will it be a 13th KLPGA Tour title for Choi Hye-jin? She's going to have to run down the player in form right now, Kim Soo-ji, if she wants to be the 5th Hana Financial Group Championship winner. As we all know, it's a crazy old game, golf. Anything can happen. You see the year one's caddy just grabbing the driver there. Remember, if you do hit your tee shot, or any shot for that matter, in a closely mown area, you do get 1 club length of free relief for a preferred lie. It's lift, clean and place throughout all 4 rounds this week. Not so much to the fact that it's soggy underfoot, just the fact that you do sometimes get some bare lies around here. Bears Best Cheongna, one of the more popular courses in this Incheon region in South Korea, so pretty heavy traffic. Sees a lot of rounds every year. It's a good play, this. I like the putter from just off the edge of the green. A bad putt's always going to be better than a bad chip. It's just a percentage play. He displays a maturity beyond her years. Leah Won, already very accomplished, a 2-time winner on tour, Rookie of the Year last season. She's finished inside the top 10 in 50% of her starts this year. Remember, she's just 21 years of age. Sky really is the limit for this young talent. just a touch clumsy there for Leah 1. Perhaps some signs of fatigue from what has been a pretty long season for her. 22nd start of the year for year 1 this week. I've seen this putt a few times this afternoon. Choi Hye-jin, downhill to start. This works its way slightly back up at the end, and it's going to be peeling from left to right. I've seen a lot of players lose this one low. That's really not got a prayer, has it? Really poor putt from Choi Hye-jin. We started the weekend as the one to catch, but she's going to be chasing as she starts the final round, trailing Kim Soo-ji by 1. Should she pop that one in without any difficulty? It's always that great debate. Would you rather be leading going into Sunday, or would you rather be chasing? It seems like a fairly obvious question to answer. You'd obviously want to be the one to catch, but sometimes sleeping on the lead, that comes with pressure, that comes with a little bit of nerves. See a lot of instances where players chasing freewheel it, put together a really low round, and your leader dealing with all that pressure, dealing with that anxiety. It's not as easy to find birdies. We're in the final group, especially when you're leading. It takes a very special breed of character to be a good front runner in golf. This would get her up into a share of 4th and would put In Ju-yeon in the penultimate group if this one drops. And drop it will for In Ju-yeon. Well, she's hung tough on this back 9. It's been a difficult season, been a difficult couple of years for the 2018 NH Ladies Championship winner. And that's a nice way to end her work on Saturday afternoon. A closing birdie. That'll be an even par round to 72. And she will start tomorrow 3 shots back in the penultimate group Sunday. Year 1 for a par and a 73. Two over par Saturday in the year 1. Well, she's 5 back, but she's going to need something very special tomorrow. She'll need a little help from Kim Soo-ji as well. For the 3rd day in a row, we're just running a little bit late with our coverage here at the Hana Financial Group Championship. Do hope you're enjoying this little extra time golf, and hopefully this will be the final shot in what has been an enthralling 3rd round here at Bears Best. Choi Hye-jin for a par. So start the final round as Kim Soo-ji's closest pursuer. Lovely chip in birdie at 17, rescuing the situation for Choi Hye-jin, who is 3 under early doors. Found the going tough through the middle stretch of her round. But she'll be in the final group tomorrow alongside Minji Lee and Kim Soo-ji. All 60 players to make the cut have completed their third rounds, and it's Kim Soo-ji who will take a one-shot lead into the closing 18 holes here at the 5th Hana Financial Group Championship. So let's look back fondly at some of the great moments of moving day, and we'll start with Kim Soo-ji, the defending champion, at the first hole, signaling her intent early with that opening birdie. In the final group, she was caught. A couple of birdies tied her at 6 under, but Choi Hye-jin said, no thank you, I very much like the lead by myself. That was a nice way to start the day for Choi. Then at 5, Minji Lee, as she did yesterday, got off to a good start. This was for a birdie to take the Australian to 4 under par. Just enough speed on that. Taking her to red figures for the day. At the 4th, Kim Soo-ji to get within 1. Left to right slider, turned hard at the hole, read it beautifully, stroked it nicely. And Kim Soo-ji had the putter working early. It was an ominous sign of things to come. And at the par 4 7th, Minji Lee from 109 meters, just with a smooth pitching wedge. Took dead aim. The resulting birdie got her up to 5 under for the championship and 2 under for her day. Hye-jin was dialed in with the irons early. Opening birdie at the first, couple of pars after that. Inch perfect at the 4th. Almost an eagle too. And she would very happily take the tap-in birdie. Didn't have to wait long for a third birdie of the day. This at the very next hole. Choi Hye-jin stormed out of the gates, 3 under in her first 5, and opened up a 2-shot lead. Then at the par 5 9th, Minji Lee would roll this one in for an outward half of 33. Soo-ji continued her assault on the top of the leaderboard. This was a birdie at the par 3 8th. And then would continue to find birdies on the back 9. Lovely iron shot to this point at 10. And a share of the lead as she walked off the green. At 13, Minji Lee downhiller. It was pretty slippery. Had to give it plenty of respect. Hole gets in the way, and Minji moved within 1. Wonderful iron shot from Kim Soo-ji into a hole that's given players problems this week. The 12th, Soo-ji moved 1 clear with that birdie. And Choi Hye-jin, who was struggling a bit, couple of bogeys on the back 9. This would certainly help her cause of the 13th KLPGA Tour title. A chip-in birdie that took her into solo second at 7 under par. And at the 18th, In Joo-yeon was up and down like a yo-yo throughout the day. She would end on the perfect note. This birdie taking her to 5 under par and into the penultimate group Sunday afternoon. So as things draw to a close here at the Hana Financial Group Championship, it's the 2022 champion who leads the way going into Sunday. Will it be a repeat of her feat 12 months ago, or will Choi Hye-jin or Min-ji Lee run her down? There's still talent stacked on that front page of the leaderboard. Do join us for live coverage tomorrow afternoon. Until then, this is Timothy Loh saying have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you tomorrow at the Hana Financial Group Championship. Bye-bye for now.